That's mine.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. words, no, we can also like join in other points, other discussions, like when you are saying something, when I feel that I want to like add on, then we add on.
Okay.
All right, so we don't just give the question to one person and then a person. Sometimes there's a tendency of losing ideas, or maybe they don't have any further elaboration. So
Voice clearly?
yeah, yeah,
Very
loud and
clear.
clear.
Okay.
Charo, I think you're a bit loud. Too
Hello.
close.
Hello.
See?
Is that better?
No, I think you should reduce a bit. Does it reduce the volume? I think. Mute me.
All the best. All the best.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our webinar session on building partnership among schools and families. I am Alia Maisara binti Ismail, your MC for today's event. We have an exciting program right now, filled with insightful discussions and expert speakers. For your information, this webinar is a part of our TSLB 3312 assignment. Therefore, we would like to express our gratitude to Madam Dayang, our respective lecturer, all of the speakers and participants for your endless support in joining this webinar. We are delighted to have all of you here today in this 1.5 hour webinar session. Now, let's begin our program with the dua recitation from Muhammad bin Muhammad Rizal. Please welcome.
قال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم أنت عزيز الجليل. Indeed, we raise our hands today in a webinar titled Building Bridges, School Parents Connection, in gratitude and praise to you for your priceless gift. Allahumma ya Rahman ya Rahim. Indeed, we gathered here today to express our care and love for our lecturers and leaders. Ya Allah, indeed, we really need your inayah in continuing life as an outstanding and pious student educator. Ya Allah, bless our gathering today. Bless our efforts. Unite our hearts. Strengthen the string of friendship among us. Combine our energy and efforts to combat the shift in attitude and thinking to face the current era of technology. Ya Allah, give us the spiritual and physical strength, the spark of ideas, and the movement of the mind to take the spirit of our lecturers who are able to generate the excellence of the Ummah on this stage. Ya Allah, Ya Alim, Ya Karim, very know the content of your servants. Make us, Ya Allah, from among your servants who are grateful and obedient to your commandments. Keep us, Ya Allah, from violating your prohibition. Grant us, Ya Allah, blessings in all our endeavors and affairs as long as we study here. Strengthen our spirit and intention to remain sincere as long as we are in this field. Ya Allah, you bless our lecturers, you forgive their sins, Ya Allah. In fact, they are the place where we got your vast knowledge. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل اللهم فينا ولا معنا ولا من يتبعنا شقيا ولا مطرودا ولا محروما. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين. تقبل الله منا.
Thank you to Muhammad for the dua recitation. Before we begin, let me briefly outline today's objective. The main goal of this webinar is to empower communities and training teachers, in particular, by providing them the skills, knowledge, useful insights, and practical suggestions they need. Our goal is to help them to get the most it is from for schools and parents to work together. The primary objective of this webinar is to enhance the awareness of individuals regarding the significance of strong school-family relationships in the field of education. Additionally, it intends to emphasize the value of such partnerships and highlight the fundamental components of meaningful involvement within this important collaboration. A few housekeeping notes. Please mute your microphones to minimize background noise. You can ask questions in the chat box and we'll address them during the Q&A session. And also, this webinar will be recorded for those who can't join us live. Now, let's delve into why we are here today. Building a strong partnership between schools and families is vital for academic success and personal development. We'll explore strategies, share experiences, and gain insights to strengthen this crucial bond. To kick things off, it's an honor to invite our moderator to lead the discussion. We also have experts in relevant fields, and they will share their valuable point of views on this topic. Now, please give a warm welcome to Ms. Alia Maisara.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alia. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, parents, educators, and esteemed guests. I warmly welcome each of you to our webinar titled Building Bridges, School and Parent Connection. I am Alia Maisara and I have the distinct honor of being your moderator today. We believe that the collaboration between parents and educational institutions is at the heart of a child's success and well-being in their educational journey. So today, we have a captivating and insightful discussion lined up for you, exploring the significance of this pivotal relationship between school and parents, which is the bridges that connect these two essential pillars of a child's education, as well as discussing strategies to foster meaningful connection between parents and school. Okay, the responsibility for a child's growth and development extends beyond the classroom walls. So parents, teachers, school administrators, and the community all play integral roles in shaping a child's future. In today's fast-paced world, where education is evolving and adapting, the importance of a collaborative effort between parents and school cannot be overstated. The challenges and opportunities facing our children demand a cohesive approach, one that leverages the strength and insight of both educators and parents. So we acknowledge that each of you brings a unique perspective and a wealth of experience to this partnership. Parents are the primary caregivers and advocates for their children, while schools serve as institutions dedicated to fostering learning and also personal growth. When these two forces unite, something truly magical happens, which is the potential for a child to thrive is maximized. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a distinguished panel of experts joining us today, each uniquely positioned to shed light on this vital subject. Before we begin, allow me to introduce the panelists for our webinar today. Our first panelist is a working parent of three, Madam Siti Aimimah, who will share invaluable insights from the front lines of parental involvement. And our second panelist, Ms. Ragona Anak Perempuan R. Arumugam, brings a wealth of experience as a seasoned educator, offering a former teacher's perspective on the partnership we are discussing today. And finally, we have Mr. Cik Muhammad Shahrul Hazhar, a trainee teacher whose fresh insight and inspiration will guide us toward the future of school and parents' connection. As we embark on this journey to strengthen the connection between school and parents, we hope you find inspiration, knowledge, and actionable insights to apply in your own educational pursuits. We sincerely appreciate your presence today, and we are excited to embark on this enlightening discussion together. We hope you find it engaging, informative, and a valuable resource in your educational endeavors. Without further ado, let's begin our webinar, Building Bridges, School and Parents Connection with our first panelist. Madam Aimimah, as a busy working mother with 3 children, you undoubtedly have a lot on your plate, from juggling with your career, fulfilling parenting responsibilities, and also engaging with your children's school given your busy schedule. How have you managed to actively engage with your children's school and stay involved to their education? Are there any strategies or experiences that you would like to share with us, madam? The stage is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very good day and thank you to Ms. Nur Alia Maisara as our moderator for today, and a good day to our respected panelists, Ms. Raguna and also Mr. Sharul Hazha. Okay, so I'm here to share my insight as parents, okay, as working parents specifically, okay. But before I proceed with I am about to say today, I would like to lead you to that because I have kids in primary school, so I will be focusing more on like primary schools kids development. Okay, so as we are aware, life as parents is full of hurdles, commitments, and many other matters that we can't take our eyes off from. So for us to get engaged and stay involved with our children's businesses, I would say businesses at school, we need to know the correct time to prioritize. As parents, we need to prioritize. Okay. So first and foremost, I would encourage parents to build rapport with our kids. I apologize for saying this, but from what I could see, children nowadays seem quite distant from their parents. So making it difficult for parents to reach out to them. What more in getting involved in their school matters. So in this case, I am more towards making my kids comfortable with me in terms of sharing. You know, kids at around age of 12 and below, they love sharing things with you. As small as just buying tiny candy from the bookshop, okay? Buy keychain. I buy this keychain using the pocket money that you give. So it's our job as parents to lend our ears to them, pay attention to them. Okay, so I feel like it is very important. Okay, doesn't matter what it is about. So when my kids, after they came back from school, every time they start talking, I will try my best to like pay attention to them, rationalize, not judging. Please don't be judgmental towards your kids. Okay, don't judge them just yet. Just try to brain digest what they are about to say. So I rationalize the situation and try to come up with the most appropriate comments or advice. By right, recently, there's one incident in which my daughter came back to school crying. Crying, you know, kids when they cry, they can't talk. They would stutter a lot. So I keep on asking, what's the matter? Calm down first. When to them, this is like world matter, you know, world problem, world issue. So she came back and then she told me there are some mean boys saying some mean things to us. What was it? I asked. What did they say? So they said Red House Koya, Red House lost, we win. It's like that, you know, they are boasting. Apparently, they are bragging. So it kind of hurt my daughter's emotion. So she ended up crying like that. But then it is our job, our responsibilities as parents to pay attention to what they are about to say. They are not asking for solution for that, you know. It's just that they want to be heard. That's it. So take some time off to listen to your kids. And I believe that that will bring us to what the situation, what scenario they are having at school. Okay. And that is, yes, I must say it's not easy. True, it's not easy to do. Because nowadays with the parents now, they are working and they have their own career path to focus on. Hence, there's a bit of tips that I would like to share. A bit of tips. This is what I do with my kids. There are actually two things. Number one is micro conversation. I call it micro conversation because as we are aware, kids, their attention span is not long. The most they could listen to you is like 30 minutes. That is long enough. Okay, so if you have time, sit with your kids and then try to ask specific questions. Okay, specific questions. What have they been doing at school? For example, like maybe your daughter or your son had a PSV project. Ask them, okay, did you manage to create the pot you want during PSV today? How did it turn out like? Were you happy? It's like that. So when you start engaging them with this small conversation but meaningful ones, you will get the insight on what they have, what difficulties they face as they do their project at school. Okay, so I believe that you need to spare some time having these micro conversations. Don't worry, it doesn't need to be done like properly at certain specific time, because mostly we are now mobile, we are on the run all the time. You have tuition classes to catch, you have mengaji classes to send them. Okay, so you spend most of the time in the car. So I believe that this is the perfect moment to have such a micro conversation. You can just speak to them leisurely while they also answer your question leisurely. No pressure. Yes, no pressure at all. Okay. So, and parents, please, I beg all of you, try not to hold your phone or get distracted with other things as your children started to speak, because this jeopardize with their self-esteem. This one I can guarantee. It kills their confidence when they started to speak and you feel like you waited too long for them to finish their story. I know at times there are so many distracting stuff that they included, but you don't know what is the real thing that is happening. But please try your best to look into their eyes, pay your utmost attention and listen to them. Because why? At times, our kids behave differently from home and also at school. We never know. We never know. Maybe at home, our kids are very quiet, very passive, very introverted. But at school, they turn out to be someone who is very talkative, very responsive, very active in class. We never know. So that is the reason why I feel like this micro conversation will help you to get to know your kids better. And the second thing that I notice is that parents should indulge in their work. Yes, it's not easy, but you need to stoop low to their own level. You know, as kids, at times they couldn't process subjective stuff, abstract things. So we, as the older figure, you know, we need to stoop lower, put our level in their eyes, try to see things from their own point of view. So that is, I think, the better way in getting engaged with their activity, with their programs and anything. As for me, myself, I would always support my kids whenever they assign with some PBL, you know, project-based learning, in which it's a requirement. Okay, we have been doing this from primary school up to secondary school. So I believe all kids, they have their own project to complete, and I've been trying to support my kids in any ways possible. And you can try to even be more creative and make things in more interesting way. Okay, one more thing that I usually do is to encourage my kids to love mathematics, because nowadays we look at the syllabus, you know, mathematics is very difficult. It's a very tough subject. So we need to have a strong foundation for kids, especially from primary school, standard 1, standard 2. Okay, so what I do is, whenever we are driving, they see lots of cars around, isn't it? They see lots of plate numbers. So I ask them to total up the plate number. For example, they see AFE 2614. Okay, the total is so if they have siblings, they will fight for it. You know, it will become a very fun game. So I believe that this is like, small approaches, but can be meaningful to these kids. And we also can benefit from it, as we can get to know our kids' level, where they stand, how good they are. Okay? So far, I think that should answer your question, Miss Alia.
Yes, thank you very much, Madam. Okay, thank you again, Madam Amima, for sharing your insights and also personal experiences with us today. Your perspective as a working mother of 3 children is incredibly valuable to our discussion today. And I hope our audiences today will take a moment to digest the experiences and also the advices that Madam has shared with us today. Okay, so now we are moving forward to listen to our seasoned teacher, Ms. Raguna, from a teacher's perspective. How can parents best communicate with you about their child progress and also concerns? Please reflect on the impact of parental involvement on a student's learning experience and maybe share with us some advice to parents who may feel hesitant about approaching teachers or becoming more involved in their child's school life. Please welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Miss Alia, thank you. And we have Madam Siti Amima. Thank you. I loved your sharing. Yeah. And also Mr. Sharon, my dear student. All right, who will be talking about the topic, the same topic, and he'll be sharing his insights. So, what has to do, or rather, what communication is all about when it has to do with teachers and parents. Now, I believe any communication has to be two-way. Okay, it's a two-way communication, and it's not one-sided. And this communication, I strongly believe, has to start on a positive note. Yeah, it has to be cordial, it has to be mutual, there has to be mutual respect, uh, and we must always create, from the teacher's point of view, we must always create a warm feeling, warm, friendly atmosphere, even if it's going to be a very short conversation or communication with parents. You must always remember that is always important to have this mutual respect, okay, and also a friendly atmosphere. All right, the context may be different. Why we are going to communicate with the parent can differ, and it can be of for many different reasons. But as long as we remember and establish this friendly atmosphere, friendly and warm atmosphere, and I believe it is going to be a very fruitful communication with parents. And I also believe that as teachers, we must always try to communicate as often as possible, when and if it is necessary. And when I say often here, it's not like every day or every other day. When I say often here, I'm referring to when there is a need, and if there is a need, this communication has to take place. And how it's going to take place, it can be established, discussed, and then established with the respective parent. Okay. As we all know, we are living in a world where there is a lot of, or rather, there are a lot of communication tools and devices being used. So perhaps that this is one of the aspects that need to be discussed with the parents first, or a group of parents. Is it okay? Is it all right for the teacher to contact the parent via WhatsApp? Okay, via email, or should it be very formal by issuing a letter from the school, for example? So this has to be discussed and established, after which the communication can take place. And again, what are we going to communicate? When are we going to communicate? How much are we going to communicate? Also matters. Okay, and perhaps this communication can take place at a particular time and not 24 hours. Sometimes nowadays we have these WhatsApp groups with parents and teachers, and it also happens to us because we are educators. We do deal with students, not children and parents, but with the WhatsApp group, you have messages coming in all the time. It is like 24 hours. So we have to establish that with our students. So here in this context, we have to have, the teacher has to establish this with the parents. When is it suitable to communicate? Okay, or how you're going to communicate? Is it going to be like weekly, once a month? All right, this has to be established. So I believe that most parents do have this teacher parent WhatsApp group. Am I right? One city, right? I think One City is giving me the smile. That means yes, yeah. So again, This has to be something that has to be discussed and established, after which the communication take place. Now, from teacher's point of view, we must always remember that every parent count. Every parent matters. Okay, we cannot be selective in our communication with parents because we are teaching all. For example, if we have 24 pupils in our class, then 24 parents that we have to deal with. Okay, or we have to communicate with, interact with. Of course, this interaction can be in many forms. It can be face to face. It can be on online. It can be via these communication devices, apps, and so on and so forth. As a teacher, I know you're bogged down with a lot of responsibilities, just like what Madam Siti has shared with us just now. She herself being a mother and a teacher and educator. All right, she's busy, and I understand that. But this is what I said earlier: discuss, establish. Okay, sometimes certain parents can be very proactive in responding to certain messages that teachers have posted and so on and so forth. Certain parents may take a little longer, that we have to give them some time because they may have other obligations. So this is where the communication comes in. Perhaps the teacher can make it clear, put it nicely, clearly in that means of communication, in the mode of communication that you're using, as of when a particular matter should be resolved, or you need that kind of response, and so on and so forth. Okay, and teachers, as difficult as it can be, because we are all individuals, some of us are teachers and parents, so teachers have to try. I'm going to use the word try, because if I say you have to, it's not going to be, I don't think that is right. So we have to try to make these parents valuable. As I said, every parent count. All right, every parent count. So it's not only a particular group of parents, or this particular group of parents. No, we are the teacher to all the pupils in the class, so every parent count. Okay, so another point that I like to mention here is, as teachers, we have to acknowledge the involvement of parents. Acknowledgement is very important. You can be the class teacher, you can be the teacher who's in charge of the administration, like senior assistant of administration. You can be the senior assistant of students affairs, or a teacher in charge of these co-curricular activities, and so on and so forth. What is important is for us to acknowledge to the parents' involvement in anything that has to do with their children. Okay, it can be a call or a reply to your message, teachers, a quick thank you for your response. That will make the parent feel appreciated. Oh, the teacher takes note of my responses. The teacher acknowledges what I have to say. All right. If a teacher needs a particular information from you, perhaps you don't have that piece of information at that point of time. So what can you do? You can always inform the teacher that I will get back to you. Let me check that. Let me confirm that, and make sure that you get back to the parent. Okay, and this is also a way to acknowledge the involvement in the communication that takes place between the parent and the teacher. Okay, or if the parent is involved in any school activities, maybe the parent volunteers to train a basketball team, or it can be volunteers to join in a camp, and so on and so forth. What kind of acknowledgement can we give this parent who have voluntarily turned up for this this kind of engagements with the school? Perhaps a thank you note from the school saying that we appreciate, or we thank you very much for being part of our excursion, or maybe for being part of the team, or for contributing, drinks and food for the team, for example. So a note is also a form of communication. It need not be just speaking, all right? Sending a note to a parent saying that we acknowledge your involvement. Thank you for your involvement. This is also a form of communication. Okay? So Well, these are some of the points that I can share with you. And also, one very crucial point when it comes to communicating with parents, yeah, teachers, we have to remember that when we ask a parent a question, for example, or we want some kind of information from the parents with regards to their child or children in that school or in your class, remember, teachers, ask the question, stop and listen. We must give the parents some time to explain. So listening is, I feel, to a certain extent more important than asking. Okay, you already put forward the question, stop and listen to what the parent has to say. Okay, and don't just listen for the sake of listen, genuinely listen, because you're the one who asked the question. All right, so when it comes to communication with parents, these are some of the points that you should look into. Okay, you create a friendly environment, start positively. Okay, and then make sure that the parents feel valuable. Every parent count. Okay, communications should be establish mode of communication, how you want to communicate, when to communicate, because we also understand parents are also working, as I pointed out, and Madam City has pointed out, they may have other obligations. So all this has to be discussed and established. Okay, and acknowledge the parents' involvement. Okay, acknowledgement here can be in any form. It can be in spoken form, can be in a form of sending a text message, or it can be writing a thank you card for their contribution, not only monetarily but physically being there, helping out. You know, as I've given the example just now, maybe training a team, a sporting team, or joining you in the camp. Okay, being there. So all this can be done. And finally, I did mention about asking and listening. Ask a question and listening to what the parents has to say, and listen. Okay, listen sincerely. All right. I think, Alia, that is all from me as of now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bruna, for your insight. Okay, thank you, Ms. Raguna, for your insightful sharing of your experiences. And we believe that the knowledge and experience that you have shared today will have a lasting impact on our attendees and their approach to fostering collaboration between parents and school. All right, to our audience and panelists, thank you all for your active participation and engagement in our discussion on the importance of school and parent connection in the previous session. It's time for a short break to recharge. Please feel free to stretch, grab a quick drink, or take a few moments to relax. We will reconvene in 5 minutes to continue our learning journey. While you are enjoying your break, we are opening the floor to our audience. If you have any queries or comments, please feel free to submit them through the Q&A feature on your screen. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a refreshing break. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you had a refreshing break. We are now going to explore the topic of building bridges, school and parent connection from a trainee teacher's perspective. Let's give, sorry. Let's give our trainee teacher your full attention as they share their insights on this crucial subject. Ladies and gentlemen, engaging trainee teachers in discussion about their views on parent-school partnership can help them develop a better understanding of the importance of this collaboration and prepare them for effective communication with parents soon. With that being said, Mr. Sharul, how do you believe fostering strong parent and school partnership can positively impact a child's education? And how can parents best support teachers in both physical and virtual classroom setting, taking into account the ongoing effects of the pandemic and post-pandemic needs? Please welcome.
Thank you, Alia, and all committees. So, I'll be answering the question. So before I proceed with my answers, I think I would like to share with you guys an article published by Harvard Family Research Project, Harvard Graduate School of Education. It says here about how this parenting actually contributes to 5 major for the child development outcome, which is it can increase their reading scores, language growth and development, motivation to achieve prosocial behavior, and also quality work habits. That's how the importance of the involvement parents and school partnership being very crucial in one's education. So to answer the question, I think I will start with by explaining why this parent school partnership very important for children's education. My first point is would be consistency. So now I teach in a tuition center. So this tuition center we have to introduce the kid with the multiplication table, and also every day when the students comes, we need to give them education and then ask them to memorize. But the major issue here, what I see, what I observe is that the student just couldn't remember it. You know, after we give and then they just can memorize 1 until 9, and then they go back, then they come back like back to square one. So we this learning center, but we also need to bear in mind that they also have time at home. So being said that, by having the kids, the children to the school, it doesn't mean that the parent doesn't need to play any role in contributing to their success in education. A strong partnership between school and parents ensures consistency in the child's education, because when the parents and teachers share information and goals, the child receive a consistent message and reinforcement of expectation. Being said that, when the school give feedback to the parents, the same feedback they give to the students, the parents need to take note. And you know, when the teachers and the parents set the same goal, it's easier for them, for these parties, to shape the kids, to shape the students towards the same goal. For example, let's say I want my kids to be good in hockey. I want him to go for national hockey competition, for example. Okay, the thing is, me as a parent need to be on the same path with school, meaning that I want the kids to be good in hockey. The school also want my kids to be good in hockey. So by having these two parties in the same thing, it can lead, it can shape the students for a better destination, for to achieve the goal in a better way. Okay, so second point I would like to highlight is that motivation. A supportive partnership can boost a child's motivation. Okay, but then when I was in secondary school, I was in boarding school in Terengganu, and then even though we are in boarding school, so some of big numbers of the students are not from Terengganu, so they are outside of Terengganu. But then once in a while, when they have like a PTA meeting, and also when they have like a temu murni to discuss about the achievement and all, these parents from all the states come together to listen like one-to-one with the teachers. So these are efforts, and you know, the amount of effort this parent showed to the kids, to the school, can actually motivate the student to, like, you know, to score more. You imagine at that age, you would think that how come my parents come from other state, maybe like example from Selangor, drive for 5 hours to come to listen the bad feedback from the teacher about my result. So but having said that, these efforts showed by the parents and also the school can actually motivate them to be better in their education and their achievements. And also I like to point out, I would like to share my experience when I had my practicum in SPK Johari. Okay, the school, it was very small. The school is very small, and then we have no field, you know. And then, however, what I observed, what I saw from these teachers and the parents' relationship, whenever they have an event, for example, Hari Sukan, because we don't have a fee, we managed to organize Hari Sukan at other school. At this school, the parent will come and watch their kids doing the run, doing the relay, doing all the Sukaneka. So, and then we also, because we don't want to appreciate the parents' effort to come to watch the Sukaneka, the sports day, we carry out the games. So having said that, during the sports day that my practicum school organized, we can see how these three parties, students, parents, and school, really work well to be a team at the sport days. You can see like it's a very beautiful scenery. You can see how the teachers and the parents like laugh, and then they share the stories, and then how the kids can how the kids can join the parents, you know, to like at the same time they're also giving feedback. For example, when you come to the sports day, I will say, your kids can improve more on the running. We can let him to represent our school for the state level, for the state level, you know, that kind of things. So I think that is very important, that I want to highlight here back then when I was in practicum school. And another example I would like to highlight here is when I was in secondary school too, when we had SPM days, all these parents will come in the morning to give breakfast, as simple as sandwich, as simple as um, jugs of coffee, to show them, to show the kids that we teachers and parents really work together to help you to achieve your dream. It's not like one-sided efforts, you know. But during those days, I can see how teachers and parents really work together to ensure that these kids, my friends, our batchmate, our schoolmates, gets the idea that for you to achieve your dream, it does not only about you, but it takes the whole village to shape you to become who you want to be. Okay, so that's why I think that parents teacher partnership is really really important to shape one's path of education, to shape one's life, because of these things, you know. Because in Malaysia, we can see in these scopes, the student only spend time at two places. It's either home or school. So that's why these two parties really need to take the rule seriously, because we are talking about someone's future. We are talking about the whole generation's future. And next, I think I would like to answer Alia's question about how teachers and parents, how the parents can actually help the kids in terms of virtual learning environment, considering the pandemic that had happened previously. So back then when we were in the pandemic, we heard a lot of problems, such as the parents don't have enough devices, the kids need to share and all. And then we put those problems aside. It's not because we ignore it, but I just want to highlight another point, which is how some of the parents refuse to take part of the journey to learn about these technologies. Okay, for example, I give one example. This is a story from my senior. When they had practicum, online practicum, they tried to carry out more virtual learning using Jamboard, using PEDAC and all. But then when the very detailed instruction given in the group, the parent like complained to the school, complained to the teachers, saying that how this is very complicated project, how this very complicated learning for the student to follow. Okay, the one of the perspective that we can take here, some of the parents, I hope I'm not talking about the parents here, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to highlight is how the parents actually refuse to join the bandwagon to learn together with the kids. Okay, because as much as the kids really like, because we are talking about primary school here, so they are not like really tech savvy like we in the college or those secondary school. So in order for them to join the learning, they also need to like learn a few things about technologies. So the parent actually should join them to learn how to use this particular platform, how to integrate this particular item into their virtual learning. Okay, so apart from providing gadgets, this is also very important. Some of the scenario that we can see, I bought an iPad and I gave to my kids and let whatever happens with the iPad and with the kids. They don't feel like the need to participate to the kids learning. You know, I think that is very important for us to see how the scenario that has happened throughout this pandemic and virtual learning. Another point I would like to say here is that the parents and the teachers need to work together to ensure that this virtual learning going to work well. Because why do I say that? Because I think that it takes these two parties to ensure these kids really get something. We had a lot of complaint from teachers, from examinations result, saying that how these grades drop because they did nothing during virtual learning and all. Meaning said that throughout the learning period, virtual learning period, the student like gain one or two things only, which is something that it shouldn't happen because it's still in the learning period. So I think I would like to suggest and urge to all the parents, to all teachers, to show that how important for these two parties, including the child, to work together to ensure that the learning that has been going on will keep progressing towards a better towards a better destination. Saying that, meaning that whatever the kids is doing, the parent acknowledge with the help from the teachers, we actually can improve a lot. We can improve more on the quality of our education. I hope I answer your question, Alia. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Mr. Shahrul, as a trainee teacher, your fresh insights and unique experiences have brought a new dimension to our discussion. Your passion for education and the importance of building bridges between school and parents were evident in every word you spoke. And thank you for being an essential part of our webinar today. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to open the floor to our panelists to answer your question and comment. Okay, so we have a question from our audience. Any panel can answer this. So the question is, many young teachers have an issue when it comes to communicating with parents. As an experienced teacher, what are some tips to each parent to be used by each parents in a meaningful discussion of their class performance?
All right. I think Miss Alia, I'll share a little bit. I also come to know about this matter that young teachers having problem communicating with teachers. I think this was related recently during their practicum when they assisted the teachers with the PBD report. Yeah. Now I would say that young teachers or teachers to learn how to communicate. It is very important for you to learn to communicate. Sometimes the difficulty in communication may come from you, the young teachers and teachers to be. Identify why this difficulty happens. What exactly you must communicate or have to communicate to the parents is essential, is important. So I would say or recommend that these young teachers to get to seek advice from more experienced teachers on how to communicate, what to say, how to greet. It is not just a matter of reporting a child's progress. Sometimes the report is not as important as how you talk to the parents. Okay, the mannerism. Okay, and you must also look. I always believe that whatever report that you're giving to the parents, try to make it very constructive instead of just highlighting, oh, this is not good, that is not good, your child is not doing this, your child is not doing that. That is not how it's supposed to be. It has to be constructive. Start by identifying and stating what is the positive aspects of the child, what the child is able to do, what is the child is in the classroom. Little things like, oh, for example, I'm just using a name, Sean loves to help in the classroom. You know, say things that you see the child is able to do. Don't go directly to the report, the PBD report. Okay, because we all know education is not all about grades and scores. There's more to it. Okay, so young teachers, if you were to ask me, please get some ideas, get some advice, sit with the more experienced teachers, learn how to communicate with those with the parents. There's always more to communication, and always more to communication, just beyond. It's not just as I said, not reporting the scores and the grades for PBD, for example. There are more to it. So learn. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe Madam Siti would like to add from a different perspective. Thank you.
Yes, I would really love to do so. Thank you very much, Miss Raguna. I just wish I could add on to what Miss Raguna had mentioned. Maybe she's speaking from the point of view as a teacher, and I am speaking from the point of view as a parent itself. Personally speaking, there are teachers who are not very good in their communicating skills. You know, they don't know how to improve effective communication. Means there are some things that is not delivered properly along the way. There are some details which are missing along the point itself. And sharing my personal experience, okay, just now I saw that the question was asking whether it's about PIBG meeting, isn't it? Personally speaking, from PIBG meeting, we are interacting with parents only, not really talking about the children. And usually in PIBG meeting, parents focus or address more of facilities problems, on the administration of how the school is being run. But the one that Miss Raguna stressed on just now is more on the like hari bertemu waris, the report card day, isn't it? And this one, it actually offends me a little bit because recently I attended one. And then I waited there patiently, scanned my attendance QR code. After some time, it's now my turn. And the moment I sit there, the teacher just merely give the PBD copy to me to look at. And I mean, I look at it alone by myself. Thank God I'm a teacher, so I can digest what is actually written there. I could make it out. But then the teacher did not even give any relevant comments, any suggestions how to improve my kids' performance. And then when I asked, how did my daughter behave in the class? How was her social skills, you know, whether she mingle around with the friends or not at the class. And then the teacher's comments is very disappointing. She merely said, oh, she's doing fine in class. That's it. And this actually brings back to what Miss Raguna mentioned just now. Every parent counts. You need to understand that the kids that you are handling in class, they come with a package. They have parents. So you are dealing with 24 kids, you are dealing with 24 parents together at the same time. So when you are doing this, it's like you are not paying much attention to my kids. And as you are well aware, you are learning about this. Kids, child development doesn't take the academic side only. There are a lot to consider. Their speaking skills, their interaction with the friends, their interaction with teachers, mannerism, the way that Miss Raguna put it just now. So mannerism is very important. Here, from what I could see, the teacher lacking in communication skills actually hinders the effectiveness of the communication itself. It beats its purpose, I shall say. So what is the point me waiting there for quite some time? I wanted to get to know about my kids, how is she doing? But then what I got is, she's doing fine, ma'am. And here is your PBD result. You can bring it back. There it goes. Voila. So this is not something that I expected to get. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm a busy working parent. So such opportunity, when it comes to us, we treasure it. We would really like to use it, utilize it to the fullest. so that it will be a very beneficial moment, so that I can also have such an insight in which what are the things that happen when she's just on her own. And I believe that this is what most parents intend to have. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Maybe we can move on to the next question. I think our moderator is lagging right now. It's frozen.
I think there seems to be some technical problem, right? Okay, while waiting, I think I can say something. Sharo, can you hear me? No.
Yes, miss. I can hear.
Okay, while waiting, I think Madam Siti made a very important point just now. That how I can see. I think I can see in her expression how hurt she was. You see, by by how the teacher, whoever she or he is, failed to communicate, I would say. And like the point that she made, she said they are busy, parents are busy, and any given time or when they're able to make time to go to school and to get some kind of feedback from the teacher is very valuable. The time that they spend, for in her case, she was queuing for so long, okay, sitting there waiting patiently, and finally when it came to her turn, there was nothing much to share. So it shouldn't happen. Okay, I can feel that because I was once just sharing my experience in one of the secondary schools that I've taught in both primary and secondary. And I was a class teacher of students with average to low ability. And I met every parent who came that day. All right. I spent some time talking to each and every. After the session was over, one of my colleagues asked me, well, they are from this class. You had so much to say? And I told her that yes, these are my students. And yes, I have a lot to share. It is not only based on their grades. Back then it was grades, scores, and all that. There are a lot of other things that we can share with parents. As I said, it is not only the scores and the grade. How is one doing in class? Are they interacting? Are they always down? Are they always moody? How has the behavior changed to become positive? What the child is able to do, not able to do? What are the skills that we can suggest to the parents to maybe work on? These are the little information that we can give parents. Especially if a child is in not an advanced, does not have the ability where he or she can score, and the child is from average and below ability, all right, to learn or proficiency in that particular language or in any subject. So these are the input that we can give to the parents. Parents want to hear something about their child when they come to school. They want to know what the teacher has to say, because who else is the closest individual in school if it's not for the teacher? It can be that particular subject teacher, or it can be the class teacher. So parents come longing to receive some kind of feedback, and this feedback, this input that you were giving has to be related to the child, and it has to be put in a very positive manner. As I said earlier, constructive. Yeah, I'm sure we would want to hear that from our teachers also. Oh, she is very helpful. She helps her friend. Just the other day, she could, solve the puzzle in the class and presented it. It matters. That shows that the child has confidence. That it shows that the child works in a team. These are the little things that teachers must be able to see and communicate with the parents. It's not all about the grades and score. All right? Thank you. Alia, are you okay now?
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you to both Ms. Raguna and also Madam Siti Amimah for answering the question from Fatin from YouTube and also Karisha on our Google Meet. So our next question that was asked by our friend in Google Meet was, sorry, what can a teacher do to help students from poor socio-economic background? I think this question can be answered by Ms. Raguna.
All right. Okay. What can the teacher do to help pupils from?
What can a teacher do to help students from poor socio-economic background?
Okay. When you say help, what kind of help are we talking about? It can be, it's quite broad, help academically, help monetarily, help in giving support, like, you know, giving some moral support. So, what kind of help are we talking about? Well, if it's monetary help, then we have to channel it to a particular, person or individual who can help with this. In secondary schools, we do have counselors. Okay, we do have the parent teacher. Student affairs as a senior assistant. Okay, so the class teacher plays a role in identifying these pupils and students who are in need. I'm talking about monetary help, yeah, and this can be channeled there. Okay, if you're talking academically, there's a lot that one can do. It all depends on how much one wants to do. I'm talking about the teachers. Okay, in schools there are many programs, right? It all depends on the school again. What kind of program is designed to help these pupils who from this lower social strata, whereby maybe their parents are not able to send them from some tuition or additional coaching, and perhaps buy certain books. They are not able to do that. So I suppose it comes back to the school and the teacher. What can you do? Are you going to supplement them with some additional work? Additional here is not homework. Addition, I'm not talking about homework, because homework may not serve, may not be the answer to this. Okay, I'm talking about maybe you guiding him or her in a particular time in school when you have established, when you have identified and established, okay, I have this half an hour. The child is, able to see me in that half an hour. Maybe I can coach a little bit, or help or give some task or exercises so that he or she can benefit from it. So we are talking about pupils who are not able to attend all this additional classes or buying books or even access the internet to read up, because it costs money, because it has to do with data, it has to do with having laptops, it has to do with a lot of other things, earphones. All this will incur costs, and parents have more priorities, other priorities, like putting food over them. I will throw the question back to the teachers. You don't have to do something big, okay, where I'm going to conduct additional class every day after school. No, it can be just one worksheet, identify, and then maybe you can find a time where he or she can see you, and then do some coaching there. That can help. Huh? I'm talking about academically, I'm talking about monetary help. Okay, besides that, you can also help a child from by giving them some moral support, giving some pep talk, I would say. Okay, not all the time, huh? Not all the time, because as we know, when we do it often, we do it all the time, it will not be effective. I think Madam Siti has a question. Yes, Madam Siti.
It's not actually a question. It's just that I feel rather than focusing on what can teacher do to help the students, but why not look at how parents can actually be aware of what kind of aids are available for their kids.
Yes.
Ah, I
Yes.
think that is the better way of bridging
Mm.
gap, you know,
Yeah.
because we work alongside with
Yes.
one another. We are on the same page. So I believe if the teacher, because of their work commitment and whatnot, they might overlook some of these matters. So if parents are aware, oh, this kind of help is
Yeah.
exists, why not try to reach out to the teacher itself and then try to see whether they can help with anything. So that's it. I would
Yeah.
really agree with what Miss Raguna had
Yeah.
mentioned just now because it's such a broad question. Help can come in all sorts of form.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is one way of it. Be alert, parents. You need to be alert of what is happening, what is available around you because nowadays technology is at your fingertips, isn't it? You can just Google for anything, like the recent PKSK. If you require assistance for your kids in sitting for your test and whatnot, ask the teacher, reach out to teacher. Are there any suggestions you can give? Are there any available practices that my kids can actually do as preparation to sit for this? Reach out. Okay? I think that's it from me.
I think I'll add on a little bit. All right, because I just remembered public libraries. Public libraries, when we do not have certain, access, we don't have access to the internet and so on and so forth, they can always bring their children to the public library. I'm sure there are ways and means where they can utilize the internet service provided in these libraries. Just the other day, I was watching a documentary where they had featured the public library in Shah Alam. Wow, there's a lot going on there, activities for the children, and also the facilities are something to be wowed. It is a lot that children, parents can also bring their children to these public amenities that's available. Yeah. And I also agree with what Madam Siti says, making or giving this information that is available around them to the parents so that they take the initiative and sort of the teacher doing all the way. But this is the teacher on their part, teachers on their part, what they can do, and then collaborate with the parents. So we meet halfway. So from our perspective, our part, and also the parents' part. Okay, I think I'll rest now.
Maybe Mr. Shahrul want to add on to the question that has been asked by Dr. Chin.
Thank you, Alia. I think as a student myself, to be in classroom, one of the thing that teacher can help for student with poor socio-economic background is that to provide a very friendly environment, because most of the time we've seen how these kids being it's not they were treated like that, but then they feel like they're being isolated, they're just not on par with the friends, I think the teacher play a very crucial role to um to create an environment so that the student in the classroom understand how diverse their classmates are, to make the students feel like we are all the same. Even though I have a car, you don't have a car, I have a bungalow, you just live in a very wooden house and so on. But then the teacher play its role to make sure that these kids understand they are just all the same there. So having said that, the teacher need to think of strategies to provide a very friendly environment to make sure all the students feel that doesn't feel like they are being isolated or they're not like on par with their friends. I think that's what I want to point out here. Thank you, Alia.
Okay, so the next question is also for Mr. Shahrul, from our friend that has commented on our Gmeet. The question is that as a trainee teacher that has gone to practicum training at primary school, what are the challenges that you anticipate or have faced when it comes to building effective partnership with modern day parents? Please welcome.
Thank you, Alia. I think I didn't face much challenges when I was in practicum with the parents. But one of the prominent issue, I think, um, is when the parents refuse to sit with the teachers to talk about their child. But then when I was in my practicum school, I had this one student. He's very weak, very low proficiency, not in English, but then most of the subjects. So the student just came in class, and then he's just like in his own world. And then I heard the teacher try to refer this kid to the psychologist, um, but then the parent refused because the parent are afraid if the kids be sent to psychologists, the kids need to go to PPKI classes, and then just the parent doesn't, maybe the parent somehow doesn't want to accept the fact that my child is in PPKI class. And maybe one of the factors. But then I think that's the prominent challenges that I face in my practicum school, because me personally I had problem in teaching him, because he just, so the least I can do when I enter the class, I just give him a paper and then the pencil to just copy and to write something, because after all couldn't he just couldn't digest anything. So this also being highlighted when I was in inclusive education classes, when we have the issue of the parents like somehow live in denial of accepting the child's condition. They refuse to think that my child is weak or my child is maybe low proficiency in certain areas. So I hope that answers the question.
Please welcome Madam Amima.
I would like to add on to what Mr. Shahrul has commented just now, okay? What he touches just now actually goes back to what I mentioned earlier, prioritize, okay? So parents, they need to know when to prioritize. They need to know how to self-educate themselves on certain things, especially when it comes to kids with special abilities. You know, I don't call it disabilities, I call it special abilities, because these kids are special in their own way. So parents, it's their responsibilities to identify this at an earlier stage, because if the problem is detected quite late, like maybe in the middle of primary school and maybe later on earlier in the secondary school, a much bigger problem will tend to come. So that is very important, okay? It's very important to slowly but in a most proper way to educate the parents about all these things, especially in rural area. I believe that most of them are not occupied with this kind of knowledge. So it's our job to enlighten them with this. Maybe they are unaware of the symptoms of the things that could be seen, okay? And these things, yes, like Mr. Sharon mentioned, yeah, lack of awareness, true, lack of awareness, because usually parents are more focused on their own obligations, their own forte, but they fail to look at their kids like in detail, look carefully, pay attention to them. So they are missing all of these details, hence the reason why when they are encountered with such facts that might not be right, like easy breezy to accept, they live in denial. They rather live in denial. They feel like my kids is as normal as other kids, so just leave him or her there. But the real problem ended up with teachers themselves at school. Teachers will face this later on. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Shahrul, and thank you, Mr. Shahrul and Madam Siti Amima. So our last question for this Q&A session is from our friend Amar Mukri that he asked in our YouTube. The question is, apparently, pupils' family and cultural backgrounds are believed to be diverse. How does educators and school tailor their approaches to ensure inclusivity and effective collaboration with families? I open to any panelists to answer the question.
I think I'll take that question. I'll just say that because when you're talking about diversity, okay, diverse background, diverse educational background, diverse economic, strata or income. When you talk about diversity, it's a bit challenging, right? It's very challenging, right? So your question just now was how to. Sorry, I forgot. What's the question again, please? Can I have the question again, please?
It
Okay.
was how
Apparently.
does educators and school tailor approaches to ensure
Okay.
inclusivity and effective collaboration with families?
Thank you,
Okay.
madam.
So thank you. So this has to be looked into very carefully, all right? And teachers, I think, I talk from a teacher's perspective. Yeah, you have to have the awareness. You have to know this different background of your pupils and also your students, parents. Okay, and I don't think I can suggest one, a cookie cutter kind of solution for this, because I always feel and I believe that every pupil is an individual, and we have to approach them differently. Okay, so I would say that you have to be aware. Okay, you have to be aware of the needs based on where they come from. If they are from a family where they are deprived of certain certain not I would say opportunities, certain uh, opportunities, or they don't have certain means, and then how are you going to put it to them? Okay, and the same goes to those who are from a different economic strata or different social background, who are in the know of certain things or certain opportunities and so on and so forth. Then how are you going to talk to them? Where are you going to take them from where they are to move to another another level or another paradigm? So I think I will hold to two things. One is must understand that they are all individuals, and you must understand what is meant by diversity, the change, the difference, and how are you going to put it to them? Okay, how are you going to like guide them? Okay, in this case, it can be the parents, it can be the student. I think maybe other panelists would like to add to that. Thank you.
Can I add a bit more?
Yeah.
Okay, what Ms. Raguna mentioned just now is totally true. I couldn't agree more. But then I believe that there's something we call as local expertise. So in each school, okay, in each organization, we have to get to know the parents based on their demographic data that Ms. Raguna mentioned just now. So what are the expertise, the local expertise that we have? What are these parents working at? What are these parents working at? So we can make use of their expertise to collaborate with the school programs. For example, the sports day, maybe the recent Gotong Royong Madani, you see? Maybe there are parents who are very good in drawing art or mural, and they can provide us with such a service. Okay, so if we have the good means of communication, we might even get it for free. I mean, the school organization itself, because as Mr. Sharon mentioned just now, parents, they are very supportive towards their kids. They would do anything to support the school programs and whatnot. So I believe that getting to know the local expertise, I mean, will enhance this collaboration and lead the school to a betterment. Okay, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of our insightful journey on building bridges and also parents and school connection. We hope you found the discussion and insight shared today valuable and enlightening. Building strong partnership between parent and school is essential for the success and well-being of our children. I want to thank our panelists today, Mr. Shahrul, Ms. Raguna, and also Madam Aimima for the very insightful sharing they have given to us today. So as we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on some of the key takeaways from today's discussion. The first one is that effective communication between parents and school is the cornerstone of a successful partnership. And the second one is that parental involvement in their child's education can have a profound impact on their learning experience. And this webinar is just the beginning of an ongoing dialogue. We encourage you to continue exploring ways to strengthen the connection between parents and school in your own communities. Please look out for future events, workshops, and also resources to support this critical endeavor. In closing, remember that together we can create a supportive and nurturing environment for our children to thrive. Let's work hand in hand to build bridges that ensure their success. Thank you once again for joining us today. That's all for me, and I will pass back our session to the MC.
Thank you, our beloved moderator, Miss Alia. Let's have a round of applause for all the speakers for giving us such a great event. Thank you for insights into this most important topic that may bring positive impact to all of us here. Remember that building partnerships between parents and students is an ongoing journey. Take the insights and strategies you've learned today and put them into action in your own communities and families. Thank you. Once again, I bid to all of the speakers for an enlightening and stimulating discussions. Your remarks triggered new ideas that will hopefully benefit our society, especially in building partnership among schools and families. My warmest thanks to our behind-the-scenes team that makes everything possible from the very start until the end. Also, not forget for all the participants for being such a wonderful audience that participated enthusiastically throughout the session and kept the entire session running smoothly. Kindly feel free to share your feedback to the link provided in the chat box. Attention to all speakers and participants, we are going to have a photography session now. Please turn on your camera.
Okay, I would like to have everyone to open their camera because we are having the photography session. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, right. Thank you, everyone.
All right, now I officially declare that this webinar is going to end. With that, I'd like to bid all of you farewell and long life success in your journey.
Alia, wait, Alia.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry, Alia. Okay, bagi salam dulu, Alia. Okay, you can give the salam first. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
We will continue with the
Assalamualaikum
unofficial
warahmatullahi
one.
wabarakatuh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Okay, a job well done to the committee. No, this is a question for Cikgu Siti. I don't know. I just have the feeling I have actually seen her somewhere. I'm not sure. Cikgu Siti ni, I was actually asking myself, have I actually met her somewhere or she has a resemblance of someone's? I'm not sure. All right, but may I ask the committee who actually contacted Puan Siti earlier and whether any of the group members have any connection with Puan Siti? I don't have the time to ask the committee actually. Yes, Alia?
One of our committee member, which is Anis Farafisha, contacted Madam Siti Aimima.
Okay. And how? Because a great panelist, of course, beside Miss Raguna and of course our senior Shahrul, definitely, because Puan Siti is just actually joined us, so we don't know much about her. Miss Na and also Shahrul, we know about these both great personalities in IPG, but Puan Siti, you have actually contributed a lot to the dialogue. Thank you so much. Such a very meaningful sharing. And then I just would like to know who contacted and how do you say yes to these people, to this committee actually. It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting actually. Who actually contacted? And it managed to get you, yeah? I mean, it should be some certain kind of relationship that managed to get this kind of connection. Yeah. Who was that? It's among the committee. Alia?
Madam,
Hi.
it's me, Nurul Anis Farafisha from
Anis?
Tesuku.
Anis? Okay. Yes, Anis. Yeah. You managed to contact Cikgu Siti?
Yeah.
How do you know her?
Actually, Madam Siti Aimama is my former teacher in
Okay.
secondary school.
I see. Good, good, good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, that's why you said there must be certain contacts actually being, have been done actually before to get to Cikgu Siti to join us. Thank you so much again, Cikgu. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sharo. Thank you, Miss Na. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very
And
much for
yeah,
this
congrats to the committee.
opportunity. Thank you very much, everyone.
Of course. Okay, we probably they will actually call you again for the next and the future dialogue. Okay. Okay. Thank you so
With
much.
pleasure,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Congrats, committee. Okay. Okay. Bye. I think everyone may leave. Thank you.